Welcome to the Brumakian podcast, an episodic review series where I can review anything but not everything. That includes monster movies, both big and small, anime, and video games. I'm Demetrius, and this is my review of Godzilla Tokyo SOS. Just like against Mechagodzilla, no one even bothered to put any more effort into the background of this film. The only thing I found on Wikipedia is the writing part, so I might as well cover that as well as making up some story on how this film came to be, if you, the audience, don't mind. Toho Studios commissioned 4 story outlines for director Masaki Tezuka, but for some reason Tezuka found each and every single one of those outlines boring, so instead he decided to write his own story. If you ask me, when Godzilla and Mechagodzilla as well as Mothra looked at the script, they were a bit confused, but a job was a job. Although they did find it baffling when there are new characters being introduced while the old characters from the previous film, especially Akane, are being replaced. Why? Nobody knows. But in spite of that, many of the crew from the last film returned here, including Michiru Oshima. The end result was Godzilla Tokyo SOS, released in Japan on December 13, 2003, and here is its plot synopsis according to IMDb, courtesy of Mr. Oliver Chu. 42 years after her first visit in Tokyo, Mothra returns to warn mankind that they must return Mechagodzilla along with the original Godzilla's bones, to the sea, for the dead must not be disturbed. I told you, necromancy was a fucking bad idea. They didn't listen. Anyhow, if not, dire consequences will follow. In other words, she will declare war. However, once Godzilla returns again and goes on a rampage, and Mechagodzilla is the only defense that Japan has left, this becomes the final battle within the nation's capital, Tokyo. Well, this is an inferior one. That's not to say that it is bad, far from it. In fact, I say that it is still a good movie. I can say that unlike the previous installment, the story here feels empty, and I think I know the reason why. Part of what worked in Godzilla against Mechagodzilla is that the main female lead was going through a lot of shit just to redeem herself, and I did like how almost everything centered around her. In Tokyo SOS, she has a cameo in the beginning and then never seen again. Why? What was the reason to drop her story? And I can easily tell you that her story was far from finished. You could have easily had her go through what Chujo had to go through. And I don't mind the Chujo family being the focus, but while they are distinct enough, they and the rest of the characters fall short, unfortunately. Here's my take. If Akane stayed and Chujo, the mechanic, not the grandfather, remained as is, it would have provided interesting conflicts. One wants to finish where she left off the year prior, and the other wants to throw the bones back into the sea. But you know what? As cliche as this may sound, but the monsters are the best characters by far. While Godzilla and Kiryu remain the cream of the crop, one has a scar in his chest and the other got some major upgrades, Mothra in this looks great. And dare I say it, she looks to be on par with her appearance in the original Mothra and Mothra vs. Godzilla, and that's a long time ago. While I'm on the subject of special effects, these have to be the most polished effects that I've ever seen in an early 2000s kaiju film, down to the minor detail in the miniatures. Although I did have an issue with the sound design when Godzilla made his first appearance in Tokyo Bay and his roar sounded like it was recorded in mono, or recorded in a pipe. Michiru Oshima continues to amaze me with her music. My goodness gracious, she delivered a hat trick. I have to say though, it is on the level of Versus Megaguirus and nowhere near my top 5, but it's still great. It's nice to hear the Mothra song, and the ending credits music is so beautiful it nearly brought me to tears. Yeah, I said it. Godzilla Tokyo SOS overall is again a good film all around. I know that there are some people who don't like this film, well, the entire Q duology as a whole, and that's perfectly fine. For me, like I said, if the film had continued Akine's story with that added bonus, it would have been on par with the previous film, if not better. But as it stands, the journey was still enjoyable. Now, here is something that I haven't gotten the chance to mention just yet. Ever since Godzilla 2000 Millennium, the King's popularity was dropping each year. GMK had a spike in popularity, but I think that was because of Hamtaro. This film was also paired up with Hamtaro, but not on the same effect as GMK had. I can tell you this much, if the anthology had ended with this film, I think no one would bat an eye. However, next year is 2004, which means it is Godzilla's 50th anniversary. And it also means that this series is going out with a bang. And His Majesty is starting to go to the gym quite frequently because of this. Let's see how it goes. Until then, thank you all for watching / listening. Like, comment, subscribe if you so choose to. This has been Demetrius signing off. Be well, stay safe, and have a good day. Hail to the King.